My name is Kathy, and I am the founder and general manager of Sabahar. Though I'm Canadian by birth, I've lived in Ethiopia for more than 22 years with my husband and our 2 daughters who were born and raised here. The idea of Sabahar probably started with my own love of textiles, and the longer I lived here, the more I came to believe that if the world knew how beautiful and exquisite Ethiopian textiles were, the demand would be unstoppable. As our journey began 16 years ago, the values of our company became clear, that we would produce textiles that were entirely handmade using locally resourced materials, and we would sell globally. Handmade means we're taking advantage of the huge labor potential that already exists in the country, but is underutilized and actually undervalued. Still today, there are hundreds of thousands of families all over the country who depend on these activities for their livelihood. Women are spinning and men are weaving. When everything is handmade means there's a lot of steps in the process, which gives us the chance to employ a lot of people. From spinning of the cotton or producing of the silk, individually hand-dyed, individually hand-woven, and then the finishing. I actually believe consumers can feel the difference and that the world is interested in handmade products. At Sabahar, we believe that weaving can and should be a viable occupation that remains in Ethiopia. The artisans themselves don't think highly of their work, so we have to give more value to that work. And we can do that by paying fair wages. A wage that recognizes their skills and expertise. We can do that by making sure they have a professional-looking environment to work in and sharing with them the stories of the happy customers around the world. We also talk to our employees a lot about salaries and payments and to make sure it's enough. The inflation in Ethiopia is high, so we have to be really careful that we can help them deal with the increasing cost of living in order for them to want to continue and have their children continue as well.
One of the exciting parts of my job is it gives an opportunity for visitors to come here and educate people by introducing the weaving, the spinning of Ethiopian culture.
What we really feel passionate about is that just because it's handmade, it doesn't need to look ethnic. I think it's our job as kind of a mediator between the traditional weavers and a very sophisticated global market to translate these skills into products that actually a very sophisticated Western market wants. By producing high quality, contemporary and fashionable products that will last forever, that people are willing to pay for because they believe in the story, that they believe that the workers have benefited from making these products. There's so much potential in Ethiopia that it can be overwhelming. One of the aspects is the cotton production. It's one of the best in the world. Even the production of cotton supports a lot of people. So we only use Ethiopian cotton. And we love the fact that we are one of the only companies in the world to offer 100% Ethiopian silk scarves dyed in 100% Ethiopian cochineal beetles. Producing silk is relatively recent. The first silkworms were introduced by the government about 15 years ago. Since this time, the ministry has attempted various strategies to enable rural households to become engaged in silk production. We are still the pioneer in promoting silk and using silk. If we can make silk a viable sector, the employment creation is tremendous and the export potential of silk is tremendous. To realize this, we have a rural extension program to support producers with training, follow-up. We've produced a silk production manual. We've given the producers simple production equipment. And most importantly, we guarantee a reliable market for their silk cocoons and their silk thread. As a result of all of this, we've seen silk production increase dramatically in the last year. We also source a lot of our dyes from Ethiopia. We use leaves, we use flowers, we take color from coffee, from henna. It's so exciting to be able to find the color in the nature around us. In addition to the natural dyes, of course, we're also using regular textile chemical dyes The good news is that we can now source these dye material from outside, which are certified to be absolutely safe in the use of the textiles afterwards and then their disposal. So we try our best to take care of our environment. But the most important factor in our Sabahar journey has actually been the people. I still find it hard to believe that from one weaver sitting in the spare room in my home, the Sabahar family now includes more than 150 families in Addis, whom we employ directly, another 100 or so women who spin cotton for us, plus another 65 families around the country who are producing silk. It's also incredible to think that in more than 17 countries, people are able to purchase lovely handmade textiles from a country they previously knew so little about. It's kind of overwhelming to think of all the commitment to us and the responsibility we have to those people. But even more overwhelming can be the actual changes I've seen with so many of our staff. Overall, we feel that there's been so much positive impact, but it's really when you look at some individual stories that it's amazing. For example, most of the women who started here years ago, they didn't even have the confidence to speak in a public setting. And now these women, they're leaders in their departments, they're making decisions, they're managing their households, they're planning for their kids' education, they're saving money. That's really amazing to see those changes, and I guess that's what makes it all worthwhile, and that's what gives us energy, and I'm just really thankful to be on this journey with all these people. We've also been so fortunate to have relationships with great buyers all over the world.
Sabahar exports to different countries, to the wholesalers and retailers. We have now about 40 buyers, and they also communicate us through our website.
Our hope is that all our customers all over the world will know of our journey, will celebrate with us all this positive impact that we've been talking about, and share our excitement for the future.